Alright guys, we're going to finish up the teardrop exhaust out through the rear fender, and we're going to take it on the first test drive. Let's get into this one. So this is a 6-inch diameter piece of 16 gauge that I had laying around. I used a 6-inch hole saw just to kind of scribe it on both sides, because the hole saw I have is made for wood, not metal. So I've got it. So it's going to go something like that. Just like that. And this gives me my center point. So now I'm going to try to do something with the exhaust. So I have to get a 3-inch hole saw to cut that out. That I'm going to actually get a bimetal one. So yeah, it's during the week, guys. So I'm just trying to get stuff knocked out here. So today I got the truck all registered and insured, so I can take it for a test drive this weekend, hopefully, at least around the block, to make sure she shifts and all that stuff. Yeah, so I'm going to try to do something cool with the exhaust here that comes out, and let me go set that up. Teardrop exhaust tip. So roughly something like that. I've got to bend this to fit the contour of the fender, and I think I'm probably maybe gonna weld that to that, because it'll slide right into the exhaust tube that I have coming out. So yeah, something like that. So it's more flush. Yeah. But that's a good start for today. So there we go. So now I got to attach those two together. All right, guys. So I got to join this to this. So I'm gonna make up a little piece here. See if I can make a template first so I can cut the pipe. So let me go grab some stuff. There we go. Let me tack that into place. So there it is. I used quarter 20s bolts with a locking nylon lock washer on the back, so it's sturdy in place. Yep. I'll go with that. All right, guys. So I recorded making the teardrop, but I hit pause instead of record. So I'm just gonna go over real quick how I actually made that teardrop. I know it's like, oh, I was gonna set it up, and then all of a sudden it's done. So I don't have another piece. Basically, it's a 90-degree elbow, and I had the long legs on it, you know, the legs. So all I've got here is this 4-inch piece of stainless that is an elbow. So it's that. So to make a teardrop, all you do is basically just like cut it. Whoops. So you would cut it like here, all the way there. And when you cut that piece, it makes the teardrop. It makes the piece that I made. Okay guys, I'm gonna show you real quick how to make this. So it's better with the longer legs, so you have something to attach it to your saw, or you can do it with a, you know, just a cut-off wheel. But this is how I did the other one, so I'm going to show you with this piece. So I've got it clamped in there pretty good. So I'm going to sort of hold this while this is cutting, and then I'll show you how I did it. That's how you do it. So now I have another teardrop for the next project. And then as I was getting into it, you know, I made that 6-inch plate out of 16 gauge for like a donut to wrap around it. You know, I kind of wanted to accentuate the look of the teardrop exhaust piece that the tip that I made. So I ended up just using the piece of 16 gauge. I welded it to it. You saw that part of the video. And then I just made a teardrop shape, cut it out, and then slowly back and forth on the fender to my little vise, tapping it down to match the size of, or the shape of the rear fender. And then from then on, everything is recorded. So that's how I made the teardrop exhaust for that. It took me, I've never built one of those, and to buy one of those, it's like 40 bucks for a pretty just generic looking piece that's only got about a leg on it this big, to all the way up to $120 plus, you know, for full stainless and polished and all that. I know I didn't want stainless, and I know I didn't want to polish it, you know, have that. I wanted it kind of like to match the bottom of the, everything else going on the bottom of the truck with the gunmetal color. So I was like, I'm gonna build this thing. I mean, it can't be that hard, right? So I jumped on YouTube, and there's plenty of videos out there on how to make a teardrop exhaust system or exhaust tip. So yeah, I just followed one of that, and I have a chop saw, like a 14-inch chop saw, and I just cut it, like I said, just like right there, and the rest is recorded. So that's how I ended up building the teardrop exhaust and get it kind of flush mounted into that rear fender. So let's get on to the first test drive. Here we go, first test drive. Speedometer working? How's that AC, yo?
It's good, to be honest.
Put the first 1.4 miles on it. She did pretty good. Let's talk about this. Alright guys, that was a successful first test drive. It's always a little nerve-wracking when you first take it out on the highways, well, around the block. Yep, there was a few things going on here. One, definitely alignment. My steering wheel was off by like that. So I've already taken off the steering wheel, put it in the center. So now the steering wheel is straight, so the alignment can be done. Second thing, there's some rattling going on when you get onto it under power or when you hit a bump or whatever. And I do believe it's those side panels right here. They're kind of, I'll show you. So those are what I'm hearing as far as rattling. I will be getting little rubber washers to put behind that piece on both sides. The seat is about 5 to 7 inches too low. I tried to I put the seat in there to be even the back of the seat, just underneath the back window. It looks really cool, but as far as functionality goes, I gotta raise that seat up because I'll show you, sitting like this, kind of I feel like a little kid, trying to drive grandpa's truck, you know? So I need to bring it up so I'm up taller. So I'm thinking anywhere from 5 to 7 inches, bring that seat up, and then I'll build, I've been wanting to build that riser, like a riser around it. Now that I know I have to build the seat up, then I can continue on to the riser. Let's see what else. The GPS speedometer works perfectly, and I do have that sensor mounted underneath the hood. So you don't need to mount it on the outside of the vehicle somewhere. It'll still work underneath the hood. So that works fine. It did get up to about 200 to 205 degree temperature. That's with the AC running and then just putting around here. But as soon as it started getting up there, because I'm keeping an eye on that, as soon as it starts getting up there, it drops right down to 185, and then it comes back up, and then back down to 185. So everything is working with the thermostats, the fans, the AC, fan, condenser fan, so that whole Dakota digital unit is working perfectly for a fan controller. Other than that, that's about it. You know, once I get that alignment done up on it, I'll probably be able to get a better feel for driving it, but it's really smooth. Like, it's not lumber wagonish, if that makes sense, right? The other thing is, I mean, it's not a bad thing, but it's just something. And you know, full transparency here with how the test drive, because I did show the video and it looked great driving around. It was awesome, but there was the front end. As I'm driving it, it's not that it feels kind of light in the front end, but it doesn't feel like there's. It feels like it could use some more weight in the front end, so it would be more not airy, but just. I think you guys understand what I'm saying. It just seems kind of floaty in the front. As far as taking bumps, because we have a couple bumps out here, where you actually have to slow down, which is good and for a neighborhood like this, but it's just kind of like that, how it works. So, and I know I don't have an engine in the front, so I'm not sure how I'm gonna combat that kind of floaty feeling unless I get like softer springs, which I don't think I can do. I'm not sure, but overall driving around, it was great. It's just that it doesn't feel modernish, I guess. So I need to kind of get out of that mindset of thinking this is going to drive like a 2023 Silverado truck where, you know, everything is like perfect there. And then the biggest issue is when I turned it off. So I'm going to put the end of the video of me when I'm bringing it in and my son's recording it. So I back it up, and this is that part of the video. Yeah, it's dieseling, and this is what it is doing. So yeah, so I have a problem with that. So I'm thinking it's the timing, like the distributor. I got to loosen it up and just kind of keep playing with that until when I turn off the vehicle, it just shuts off. It doesn't sit there and trying to diesel. But guys, super successful. I got the exhaust tip all done. You know, the first half of the video was all that, how I built it. But it's awesome. So I'm just gonna wrap that up. I'm gonna end on a extremely high note on this one. So I'm gonna end the video on that one. Please hit like, share, subscribe, tell all your friends about this awesome, cool build that I'm doing. And yeah, go out there and build something cool, because you know, this started from almost nothing to first test drive in like 13 months. So a little over a year. Yeah, anyone can do this, guys. It just takes a little bit of time. So again, go out there, build something cool, just build something, right? It doesn't matter. Again, I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.